If you've never heard of Family Dog, it's not surprising. When The Simpsons became a hit, everyone started to dab in the mature-oriented animated series. In those days, cartoons were only looked at as kids' stuff. That was the main problem with anime over here. There was no real place to bring Japanese content to a proper audience. We kept getting heavily censored nonsense. There was no Adult Swim or Toonami yet. Simpsons was basically an anomaly. Family Dog was Universal's attempt. The series was actually an offshoot of another show called Amazing Stories, created by Steven Spielberg. It was kind of like Twilight Zone. It would feature different things each week, from time travel, murder mysteries, mutations, and the animated episode that spawned this. I didn't see it, so my perspective is only from the series. But the story of the original episode is 3 shorts. The first having the dog run around the house in an adventure. The second is a Christmas-like story which ends on the dog eating the dinner. One of the main episodes takes some elements from this section, while the third one deals with the dog failing to stop burglars breaking into the house, where he's forced to go to training school to make him a guard dog. The history behind the show is surprising. Family Dog was produced by Spielberg and Tim Burton. Theme song by Danny Elfman, who did the Simpsons theme too, with writer Paul Dini, the main writer on Batman the Animated Series. 2 great directors and 1 amazing writer. How does this fail? You think it was impossible. The problem? This was spun off from Amazing Stories. They were self-contained ideas. They weren't meant to be ongoing. You got a character, they dealt with the problem, it was resolved by the end. Little substance to really pull from with the dog character from that episode. I really think it was simply their style of doing things clashed and the lack of direction. Dini writes a lot of serious action stuff, Burton does all the weird stuff, while Spielberg goes for action-adventure. Family Dog is basically about a generic family that doesn't get along with each other. You have Skip Binsford, the laid-back father and husband, lets things happen around him. Bev, the mother who has to deal with their children and all the stuff that happens throughout the day. Billy, the evil kid. He's almost Sid from Toy Story. Last, Buffy. She's basically aloof, kind of stupid. Not much past those basic personalities. The real focus of the show is the family dog, Jonah, a bull terrier voiced by Danny Mann. You might not know his name, but he voiced characters like Freeway, Cloudraker, and Lightspeed on the original Transformers, and my personal favorite role of his, Jay Gander Hooter from Darkwing Duck. All he does is dog voices, so you'd never knew it was him. With it being aimed at adults, it pretty much plays out if you were watching Raymond or Friends. Just a dog going along with the problems. I will say the show could have worked. Burton's style of a universe is there. They don't sugarcoat the city. You'll hear gunshots, the droning of people going to work, homelessness, drugs. But the series' focus is being a comedy. Well, trying to be a comedy. I know Dini created Harley Quinn and writes for the Joker. It's all demented humor, but full-on comedy? Nah. If Dini runs a show that's mostly comedy, it doesn't really work. I thought maybe it was because Family Dog had other problems, but in 2013, Dini created Hulk and the Agents of Smash. He repeated the same mistakes from Family Dog in that show. Smash was a complete mess of all the Hulk characters. Yeah, Hulk can be funny in bits. The MCU movies made this more common. She-Hulk, of course, is famous for her fourth wall breaking, but she isn't just joke after joke after joke. So that series died after 2 seasons. Family Dog was intended to come out in 1991, but you know animation is time consuming, so it kept getting delayed. The stories weren't that great, they saw the problems before it even aired, so Universal cut the season from 13 episodes to 10. They ended up burning them off in a month. What made it worse? The animation was not good. The animators didn't care about lip syncing. You would blatantly see them speaking and their mouths wouldn't move. Constant cutting to the dog with characters giving voiceovers. I have no proof, but it felt like they were rewriting the episodes post-animation. The guy who created the Family Dog episode, Brad Bird, he himself had no faith in the series. Bird passed on it, so the stuff that was good about Jonah in the original episode wasn't transferred over. If you don't know, Bird wrote and directed both Pixar Incredible movies. They should have trusted his judgment. The human cast was stereotypical at best. They didn't do much with them. You could see they were trying so hard to not copy Simpsons that it wrote them in a corner. They didn't want to be accused of the show targeting kids, so each episode would have a couple of curses like bitch, help, sprinkled in. I remember most of the series, but I only saved 1 episode. But if you want it, the whole series was released on Laserdisc. The one I saved was the 9th episode called Family Dog Goes Homeless. It was trying to be a cute episode. The Binford family was so fixated on dumb problems, Jonah was being ignored, Billy throwing balls at him because evil kid stuff. So he befriended a homeless woman. She liked him, the dog felt sorry for her, so he started stealing food from the family to the point of emptying the whole fridge and even leaving with her. She tells us how she became homeless. It was for a dumb reason. She had a argument over dinner about some food, so she stormed out, and that's it. She started looking for her husband. Magically, they find each other when Jonah decides to bail on his family, but in 2 minutes, that's all over. The justification for him to go back was lame. The guy she was looking for was allergic to dogs. How convenient. I like Jonah, but the rest of the world, it was like I saw bits and pieces of things from Bobby's World, Batman, Married with Children, and of course Simpsons, but the real shows all did that stuff better. The funny bits were not really funny. With the animation problems on top of it, there was no way in saving the show. You can have really bad animation. A perfect example would be Star Trek the Animated Series. Total crap, littered with mistakes, but the episodes are great because the writing is good. I don't think the full blame goes on one person. It's a combination of Deanie not great at writing comedy that's too simplistic, Tim Burton style felt wasted. At the end of the day, the show wasn't a normal home or car, not some spooky castle or bat cave. The closest we got was in the series finale. Jonah got sick from a mosquito that was eating toxic waste, while everyone else was dealing with another dog being killed by a hit and run. I don't get why they tried this. It was 6 years after the original Amazing Story episode had aired. It was long canceled at that point. Who was going to remember it? The only thing going for it was all the names attached to it. I think a lot of you have been thinking about a certain pink dog that's done all this way better, and you're right. If you want a good animated show about a dog with a crazy life, go watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. He's the normal character while everything around him is insane. It also helps that he talks to the audience. I think Family Dog should have done a similar thing. You're an animation. You have the ability to do more eccentric stuff that's normally not possible. They should have used it. There are times like Jonah tried to join a dog gang, had to interact with a police dog, he was forced to enter a rodeo, but all these episodes felt like a human story plastered over a dog. Buffy and Billy could have been doing these episodes and the same story would work. It wasn't unique enough. I can't recommend the show. It meandered, had no real goal. The only thing it did right was make Jonah a cute dog. He was just in the wrong show. Thanks for checking out the video. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And if you remember a movie or a show from the past that's long been forgotten, good or bad, leave it as a suggestion below. I'm always on the lookout for obscured stuff.